but after 30 or 40 seconds of running, it died, and then after two or three tries to start the motorcycle again, the battery went dead. So that's really odd, because I've got the battery connected to my motorcycle, which was running, so it shouldn't drain, the battery shouldn't drain so fast. And another thing that I've noticed is that the both wires going to the battery, the red one and also the black one, they got really hot, which is not good. I mean, I know they can get warm, but for sure they're not allowed to get hot. Also, the cable going here to the stator, this was getting really hot as well, and I tend to admit that it's some issue with the electrical side, and for that I've called my brother, which is going to read some figures on the electro test multimeter, and then after he makes some tests, we'll figure out where it's the issue, because my opinion, electricity, it's not provided constantly to the engine, so that's why it died, and then it drained the battery after 2 or 3 times, and then also the wires got really hot, so there's probably no resistance on the circuit somewhere, and we'll figure out where. Until my brother arrives at the shop, I'm gonna clean really well these stuff that you connect to the battery, because as you can see, I've started to clean this one, and it got a little bit shinier than the other one, which is really dirty and a little bit rusty. So with some paper sand, I'm gonna clean these two, and also the one from the black wire, because as you can see, it's kind of rusty. So just to know that this is not the root cause for our problem. We'll get back in touch. Yeah, they look better now, and we'll be sure now that if this was the root cause, it's not gonna make problems anymore. Here's the ground cable and the plus one. They look shiny and good. We'll check now to see if it starts and stays, and otherwise we'll need to do further checks. Okay guys, so the electrical issue was coming from the starter motor. It's basically broken inside. It doesn't have too much coil in its original shape, as you can see. Looks pretty bad inside, so this was the problem. That's why the battery was drained so fast in this Yamaha. So today this little guy, the new one, arrived, and this one will fit at its place back. It's just held in 2 Allen bolts, 2 small Allen bolts. It comes right there, and you've got these 2 Allen bolts, this one right here and the other one from down there, where you need to catch it, and then it simply goes inside the engine, where it's supposed to crank up the engine with these teeth. It has an O-ring, a new O-ring coming with it. So yeah, let's just put this back with these 2 small Allen bolts, using a 5 I believe it's a 5 millimeter Allen key. Put this back, and then crank the engine up and see what is happening. Okay, the starter motor is back. Obviously don't forget to connect the cable back on it. If the cable, the end of the cable, it's rusty or something, I advise you to clean it with some sandpaper and maybe some contact cleaner, as I did previously for many connections on this bike. Yeah, now it's time to put back the battery, which is right here. The battery will just fit in here, with this little hose on this side, because I don't know if you can see, but there's this little hole in the battery box where you need to insert the hose, the breather hose, and then obviously connect the red on the plus and the black one on the minus. Then we'll crank up the bike. Alright, so the engine started really fast. Didn't need too much persuasion. It started from the very first trying. At the beginning it was throttling too high and it didn't came back to idle soon, so the problem was the acceleration cable. It didn't have this slack, you know, needs to have its own slack. Doesn't need to be tension, because if it's tension then the carburetor is opened a little bit, so when you get back the throttle, when you release the throttle, actually the carburetor will still be opened a little bit. So that was the first thing I've countered. Then after I've moved to the acceleration cable, I've started by checking the gasoline air mixture screw, and I've let it at 2 turns and a half opened, so counterclockwise, and then that was a good setting. The rev, the idle rev was good, really good. And then finally I came to the carburetor to clean it a little bit, because I've spilled some Victorine silicone on it. Yeah, so I've came in the other side, and I've tightened this one and established the perfect idle speed. Okay, and then the motorcycles was running really good here in the yard, so it was all set up. So I said, let's go for a ride. It ran really good for the first like 100 meters, but then out of a sudden it just died. I mean, it didn't die, but when I was trying to pull the throttle, it was dying. So it was only running when I've opened the throttle like this, tuk 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 tuk. If I was opening the throttle all the way till the end, it was dying. Then I came back, started it here in the yard, and I've sprayed some brake cleaner here around this area, and I've noticed that the bike was revving up. I've also sprayed here at the gallery on this side and on this side, but nothing was happening then. So the only moment when it was revving up, it was here, because to be honest, I could see the cracks between this rubber thing and the metal part of the motorcycle up here from which comes out. So I've put some temperature silicone on it all the way around. I will let it dry for at least 24 hours. And then I will start the bike and see if this solved the issue. If not, I would assume that maybe the main jet got clogged with something, which is really less probably, because I've cleaned the carburetor and I've opened it 2 times now. It should be super clean inside, but you know, it doesn't have a gasoline filter, so maybe something from the gas tank came out. But yeah, we'll check this tomorrow. Alright everybody, we're back at the shop with this Yamaha. Silicone got hard, so and dried out all the way up. But this gave no result to how the bike is running. So still, when I pull the acceleration, tends to die. So I've already pulled down the gas tank. You know how to do that from previous videos. I've almost took down the carburetor. We're gonna take it down, tear it apart, and see what's inside, if the main jet got clogged somehow. I've also sprayed some brake cleaner while the bike was running to see if the silicone had effect, and it had. No more air leak from there, but still that didn't fix the bike. Okay, so the main jet was clogged with something, somehow like a, I don't know how to say it, but it was something there, obviously. Now it's good, now it's clean, should work fine now. Anyway, we're gonna tear this baby apart and then blow it with some compressed air, make sure nothing gets left inside her. Okay, carburetor is blown with air, with compressed air. It's back installed with the gallery on. We're gonna put it on the bike and crank the bike up, see if this goes, and if it runs well, it should be how it should be. Alright guys, so motorcycle solved. I have to recognize this project was a blast. A lot of challenges, but that's okay for me because challenges for me means more knowledge. I've changed a lot of stuff on this bike. I've checked a lot of stuff. I've been through many tests, but I have to admit it was a good one. I've learned many things from this bike, and yeah, I just give it a little clean, looks a little bit shinier, and remember this thing from the very beginning. Look, now it's even shinier when the motorcycle runs fine. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope this series of videos, I hope you've learned a lot from them. I hope if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in private or down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and yeah, if you liked the video, share it, like it, do whatever you want with it, and seeing you in the next session. Bye.